For the most compassionate, Your Excellency, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the President of the Republic of Turkey, distinguished attendees, peace be upon you all. I would like in the outset to welcome His Excellency President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his accompanying delegation in his first visit to Egypt since 10 years ago, and to open a new page between our two countries that would enrich our bilateral relations and put it in the right track. And I affirm my admiration and an appreciation to our historic relations with Turkey and the cultural and civilized heritage between us. It's important for me to highlight the popular communication during the last 10 years as the trade investment relation had witnessed an increased development. Egypt currently is a first partner in Africa, whereas Turkey is one of the most important destinations for Egyptian exploitation, and experience have proven that the joint work between the business sectors of the two countries, and therefore will pursue altogether to increase the volume of the trade accession to $15 billion during the upcoming years, and fostering the joint investment and open new fields of cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also wish to indicate our concern to bolster the joint concern and to get benefit for the destination of the two countries, and we hope that would contribute and establish peace and security, as well as paving the way for prosperity and flourishment, where the two countries face the joint challenges such as the terrorism and socio-economic challenges imposed by the disturbing reality in the region. I would also wish to express our admiration for the existing cooperation between Egypt and Turkey for entering in as much as possible the human aid to our people in Gaza, taking into consideration what the Israeli Authority practicing of tightening and hindering these aid that would make the slow pace of the entry that are not actually fit and fulfill the needs of the people. I've agreed upon during our talks to the necessity to seize an immediate ceasefire and achieving the calm in the West Bank in order to resume the peace process in reaching the establishment of the Palestinian state on the 1967 border in Eastern Jerusalem as its capital according to the International Convention. We affirmed the necessity of fostering the dialogue between the two countries upon the Libyan file that would help in holding the presidential and parliamentary elections, and we proceed in our success in achieving security and political stability will be a role model where our countries are the most competent parties to understand its complexities. It's important to welcome the current calm in the Mediterranean region, and we look forward to build upon and reaching a settlement of disagreement that are existed between the countries in the region in order to cooperate all together to benefit the maximum the optimizing of the natural resources, and we've affirmed our joint cooperation in cooperation in Africa and working there pursue the development and stability. To conclude, I look forward to fulfill or to respond to the invitation of Mr. Erdogan to visit Turkey in the upcoming April to continue the attempt in bolstering the relations, and that would be coincide with the civilized and historical heritage. Once again, I welcome you, Your Excellency, here in Egypt, and you have the floor, Sam. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı, değerli basın mensupları, sizleri en kalbi duygularımla, saygıyla selamlıyorum.
أحييكم بكل محبة واحترام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إنني سعيد بأن أكون هنا في القاهرة مرة أخرى بعد فترة طويلة.
After a long time of nearly 12 years, and I wish to extend my deep thanks to Mr. President Abdel Fattah Sisi and to the whole brotherly Egyptian friends for the warm welcome and good reception. Before I go through my own details of our meeting, I wish like to express to a speedy recovery for those who were injured in Erzincan city of Turkey. Unfortunately, there are 9 dead of casualties, as well as the workers in the mine who lost their lives, and the digging research works are to continue, and the Minister of Energy and as well as the Minister of Interior were assigned to follow up the works there, and we are receiving information 349 specialists of supported teams and prepared machinery such as 44 generators and more than 100 of aids equipment and 6 drones are working there, and we are going to work until we reach these citizens, and I pray to the Almighty God to preserve us of such disasters. Dear brothers, in reality we are sharing Egypt joint history that lasted for more than 100 years, and we wish to elevate the level of our relations to the appropriate passage, and we found that the same well exist from the Egyptian side, and we've elevated the level of cooperation to the level of the Strategic Cooperation Council to the highest level, and I've expressed that I'm going to wait the visit of His Excellency Mr. President, and he held the first meeting of this council of high level, and I think that this meeting that will be as a new stage of our bilateral relations. And today in our talks we've set a goal in order to reach the volume of the trade exchange to $15 billion as soon as possible, and we are determined to increase our investment in Egypt around $3 billion currently, and we exchange our views to take additional measurements to increase the economic and trade cooperation, as well as the field of military industrialization that Turkey proved its strengths, and we could develop our relations based on our potentials, and we also can develop and cooperation in the field of energy, beside enhancing our ties in the tourism, education and cultural fields, and will exert all the effort as well as that Yunus in a street in Cairo is one of the biggest franchise of Yunus Amra in the whole world regarding the approach in learning the Turkish language. The past year, we've launched 22,000 Egyptian students for learning the Turkish language. That is pleases us. Yeah. Dear person of media, what's happening in Gaza of human disaster was in top of our agenda today. Through the Israeli attack, more than 28,000 were martyred from the Palestinian people, and around 70,000 injured from the Palestinian innocent civilians, and they targeted hospitals, schools, UNRWA, UN establishment, and Netanyahu's administration has continued the occupation, killing, and slaughters policy despite the world reaction, and for the purpose of delivering the aid into Gaza is our priority. From our side, we've sent more than 31,000 tons of human aid, and there is no doubt we appreciate the support of Egyptian entities as well. And I thank also the Egyptian Red Crescent and the Ministry of Health of Egypt and all relevant Egyptian bodies. And beside our human aids, we've managed to transfer more than 700 injured Palestinians to Turkey, as well as the experts are discussing with each other for building a field hospital in Gaza, and we are looking forward to support our Egyptian friends in building such a hospital as soon as possible. Among the initiatives of displacing the Gazians is useless, and that's for us, and we cannot accept to displace and Gazans, and we appreciate Egypt's stance in this matter. Netanyahu's administration is to continue the policy of slaughtering, and he has and he's also moved to Rafah to do the same hostilities, and the international community should not permit this such madness, and for the sickness of put an end to the bloodshed, will continue to cooperate with Egypt and on the level of the Mediterranean. So the reconstruction of Gaza and the measurement of healing would require us to work all together, and we are ready to do work with Egypt. In our meeting with President, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah Sisi, we've tackled the issues in Libya, Sudan and Somalia by affirming our keenness to the unity of their sovereignty and stability. And we are in Africa, in the Middle East, or any region that we are linked with them historically, that would make that any kind of instability, we are going to coordinate and cooperate with Egypt in tackling and dealing with such world issues. By these words, I reiterate my deep thanks to His Excellency Mr. President, and I hope that this visit would be a means of goodness for our region and for the whole world.
Egypt opens up to the world. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets with world leaders.
أعبر لكم عن خالص الشكر والتقدير على حفاوة الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة.
Reaffirming Egypt's vision, delivering our voice abroad.
لتطوير التعاون الثنائي الاقتصادي والعسكري إلى مستويات غير مسبوقة.
Discussing regional and international developments. Solid and strong relations on the path of partnership and development.
انت الغالية يا بلادي وانت الأحلى يا بلادي بناسك والله يا بلادي بلادي يا بلادي لو حوادث حنعدلها ولو مالت نغنلها ونقول لها يا بلادي بلادي يا بلادي.
والعودة بالعلاقات ما بين مصر وتركيا إلى مسارها الطبيعي. وتحدث أيضا عن تقدير
normal Turkish and Egypt relation, and have also expressed the appreciation of Egypt of the Turkish side's role for this relation. The President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi spoke also with the challenges faced the two countries, on top of which challenges of terrorism, social and economic challenges resulted from the African, Mediterranean, Middle East conflicts or world challenges. This was the talk of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of specific fights, on top of which the Palestinian cause, in which he affirmed Egypt's role in defending the Palestinian people, preserving their potentials and the two-state solution. The President also took the solution of the Israeli aggression and the path of the two-state solution, and also said that that isn't not acceptable of the Palestinian displacement, affirmed also by President of Turkey. President Erdogan talked also about our relations after 10 years of absence and the sharing history of Egypt and Turkey that lasted for decades, by saying that we are going with Egypt shoulder by shoulder to develop the relation and pretending it's a natural and normal passage. President Abdel Fattah.
Egypt opens up to the world. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets with world leaders.
أعبر لكم عن خالص الشكر والتقدير.
استقبل السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي والسيدة قرينته بمطار القاهرة الدولي الرئيس التركي رجب طيب أردوغان والسيدة قرينته. حيث توجه الرئيسان إلى
Where the
قصر
two presidents approached the El Tahi presidential palace, the official reception ceremony were made, and the two national anthems were played. The presidential spokesperson spoke that the two presidents held in close sessions followed by expanded sessions of the two delegations where President have welcomed the President of Turkey in a way to open new phase of Turkish-Egyptian relation, affirming the civilized and cultural heritage of